This is the Red All Over instant reaction show to Barnsley's narrow 4-3 defeat against Leyton Orient, an absolute goal fest. Unfortunately, culminating in a 4-3 loss. I've been 3-1 up, so we're going to reflect on the game that finished about 5 minutes ago, and then also look forward to Peterbr as well on a Bank Holiday Monday. So let's get stuck into it. So, Andy, Conor Hurrian's first game in charge as the official head coach, which was announced just before the game today as well. Or announced yesterday, I can't remember actually. It all blends into one now for me. But a not bad first half. Looks quite solid, looked quite strong. Going into the break in a very strong position. Got us a 2-goal cushion back at 3-1, but then, as it has been this season, a bit of a capitulation in the second half. I think it was about 8 minutes. It went from
6 minutes. 6 minutes, Josh. 68 to 74.
So 6 minutes from being 3-1 up to 4-3 down, which it's a bit of a slough. Especially you're 3 goals away from home, you really should be expecting to win.
We played really well for most of the first half, and we shouldn't forget that. They had a few chances, but we were looking good. Humphreys were looking on fire on the left wing. It's a shame he came off injured, but we were looking on fire. He was winning most balls in the air. We were looking pretty good. I thought we might shoot ourselves in the foot with them put a goal back earlier in the second half after being 2-0 up, and deservedly so. And then Keele had done good finish, great finish, and then 3 goals in 6 minutes. And it was like the defence had decided they weren't going to mark players. So for throw-ins, players could just run forward on their own. And we decided we weren't going to mark, so they could cross it. So there was nobody marking them in. Midfield weren't coming back and tracking players that were going forward. It was like we just decided to stop playing football. And it was no professional team should concede 3 goals in 6 minutes. We created it ourselves. Jallo didn't have his best game, but he's a young lad. But the first goal one goal came from his weak pass across. It wasn't the only one. Our passing suddenly became all over the place, and they just ran rampant, and we didn't pick up anybody. Just left them alone. So many times that. Throwing he's gone down the line, players on his own, runs in, passes it to somebody else who's unmarked to put it in net. It was just ludicrous. Referee, I was going to praise referee because he started well. They were flopping about like good uns and they weren't gaining. Play on. Then all of a sudden, he suddenly decided to start getting free kicks and booking our players, but only our players. And then he was I don't know if he got fed up with it or whatever. Then he started just getting it every time they fell over. So really, really disappointed, especially in our defence. That's got to change. That's got to change. McCarthy may as well have been sat on sofa with me for all mark he needed in that second half. Just weak. Roll on next season. Let's get some centre halves. At least one centre half. Let's get Jack Shepherd back. That'd be a good start.
Well, I'm not sure. I did see what he did against Swindon the other day.
Don't care.
Heck of a finish. And you say professional side shouldn't be conceding 3 goals in 6 minutes, but look at Leon last night.
I don't care about Leon. Well, I do care about Leon. I like Leon as it happens. Nice city, but that was just.
No, dads tend to be fair.
Yeah, I think it's because I watched it. I've watched both.
One of my favourite cities, Leon, but we're not here about Leon. Anyways, yeah, we threw it away. That's what we did. They did well. They came at us, but we helped.
We did. We certainly did. How do you feel about this one? Because it is, as Andy said, they're very frustrating. Sort of when you look at the position, 2-0 up to begin with, then you 2-1, it gets a little bit nervy. 3-1, it almost feels like you've nearly done it at that point of fight. You've sorted it back out. You've got the 2-goal cushion back. You should be able to see it out from there. But if there's one side that you definitely cannot sit tight on 3-1, it certainly is this season.
It is. I mean, at 3-1, you think it's game over, isn't it? But self-capitulation, 3 poor goals to concede, poor defending. I mean, last goal, I thought it would have fouled on Roberts to push Roberts, and Roberts went flying, but didn't pick that one up. But that's 8 goals have scored against us this season, Orient. They beat us in December 4-0 at Oakwell. Richie Wallace changed it at half-time, didn't he? And then Flab went down so Connor could regroup and assess what changes that Wellens had made. But they needed it more than we did. And they're fighting for a playoff spot. And they're in there, aren't they? I mean, needs must. But honestly, truthfully, good goals. I mean, we played well first half. We come out and tempo under Connor were good. It was quick, sharp passing. And created a lot, and we got goals. And Humphreys were on fire. Steve Humphreys on wing is a different player under Connor. And then, as usual, who comes in? Keeler Davis done and gets 3-1 up. Oh, go on, Davis Keeler then, whatever. Excuse me, I've been away for a bit. And
not long enough. If you're going to keep saying that,
I'll say what I want, and you can't stop me. So there.
Oh. No, I can't. I could mute you if I were Josh, but no, you're right, I can't.
So, yeah, you're thinking, wow, where's this come from? But yet again, late goals lets us down yet again. It's story of our season, isn't it?
Yeah, he certainly is. I mean, defensively, it's been a problematic area for us all season. And it just went under the radar in the first half for it because we weren't scoring either. Craig, it does seem though that Connor obviously tweaked it last week, going 4-3-3, and surprisingly when you play wingers on the wing, they tend to play better than when they have to play through the middle and sort of out of position, which crazy idea. But it has been interesting to sort of see the free-flowing attacking that we have sort of played when we have changed shape to that, which obviously granted today it's come at the detriment of the defensive facts we conceded 4. But at least it's, I mean, I suppose the positive thing is at least it's more exciting when we are playing this shape and this and in this way as well.
Yeah, look, I'm happy to be 4 at back. I'm sick of seeing 5 at back and the slow-paced football. I mean, it's ramped up a little bit under Connor, but like you say, at the expense of the defence. I have never seen such a leaky defence in my life. It was, just as Andy said, the amount of unmarked runs from their midfielders, and our midfielders weren't tracking back. Our wing backs were allowing their full backs to push on. They'd run completely straight past them, and there's Jallow and Humphreys just jogging back. So there were 2-on-1 against Bland on multiple occasions, and they just put a ball in behind him, and and we're creating chances. And look, I don't think like we want us wingers to be back all the time to defend. You want them to be up pitch where they can be effective and score goals. But when you're under cosh like we were, they need to come back. They need to be back. I think Phillips had an awful game. He had a really bad game. I saw him complain more than I saw him do a good pass. Throwing his arms up in the air like a petulant child, saying, "Why won't ball to my feet?" And stuff like that. Look, that ain't helpful. That's just so from that minute, well, I just get Benson on. He's clearly there's something still not right with him because he's not been right in weeks. Let's be honest. They wanted it more than us. You can tell they got air dryer treatment at halftime. They come out. We come out and we were lazy. We were slow. We just couldn't. It looked like we couldn't be bothered. Keeler Dunn scores a good goal, but to be fair, we scored a 3-1. Mia's celebrating at the side of me, and I'm just like, yeah, we're still going to lose because we didn't look interested. And they were getting about 4 bodies in that area every time the ball went in, and we only had 4 people defending because his midfield weren't tracking back neither. They were doing nothing, and look, I'm happy Connor's got a job, but you've got to be able to defend. It's no good just being able to attack. We might be in lots more games like this before the end of the season. But it's just from end to end. But our defence is atrocious. Conor McCarthy isn't good enough. Josh Earl, for me, looked absolutely spent after about 55 minutes. He was blowing out on his backside in that area when they had a corner. He were killed over near enough. Trying to get his breath back. He's a centre back. Stop putting him at full back. Yeah,
I mean, at the minute we don't have a fit fullback.
well, they put Lembakis at left wing back. Why can't he play left back?
I
If he
mean,
can play left wing back, why can't he play
that's
left back?
just as telling though in terms of the January transfer window.
To be fair, I'd rather play anybody there than Josh Earl.
Two
Because
assists
I
last
think
week though from the left back.
I don't care. I think he's a better centre back than he's a left back. No, I don't
All
care.
right.
I don't care. I don't care if he got 2 assists.
No, right then. So just
But today, him being at left back's conceded us about 3 goals because they all come from that right hand side.
Yeah,
So
but
for me, it makes no sense. He's a defender first and then attacking player. I mean, most of the time he's not even up pitch anyway. But when he's blowing like that, and then the balls are going in behind him constantly all game, same with Bland on the other side. You know, like I say, I like my defenders to be able to defend first. If you can attack after that, great. But you're a defender.
Well, it could have been more than 4, couldn't it? I mean, that 1-on-1 when Connor got back and he hit upright. There again, we got caught out again, didn't we?
it is swings and roundabouts though with this season. I think that game more or less summed up the entire season as a whole, to be honest. Interesting though, Andy, obviously, when you look, we've not got anything to play for. And Leyton Orient in that second half, they had to go and win. They had to go and take it. They had to go and bring game to us. There's no 2 ways about it. Which, as Craig said there, they're getting four bodies in box. Which, yeah, they've got no to lose. What's the point of them losing? There's no difference them losing 3-4-1 for sake of trying. If you get one back, and then it's sort of catalyst from there. But I suppose the little bit you can take from it is there's nothing to play for. When you look at that first half, sort of in isolation, it seems like Connor's started to make some inroads into changing sort of the culture that's sort of been around the club for the last couple of weeks, last couple of months as well, to be honest, where it was almost like we just lay down and just bend to whatever the other teams want us to do. We look at later on when they came to Oakwell, abysmal performance.
Certainly was. That's 8 goals they've scored in 2 games against us. I said, I thought, don't keep going about it because how it ended up, but the first half we did all right. We started well. We deserved to be 2 goals up. I know they had their chances, but so did we to score more. But we were well deserving of our 2-goal lead and playing well. They came back into it towards the end of the first half, and I thought we rode our luck a little bit in the last 5 minutes of the first half to go in 2-0 up. When we went in 2-0 up, I thought, we're going to do keep them out for the first 5 or 10 minutes, and it's done. And of course, we didn't. But then, Davies came up and scored a really good goal. He took it really well, and then you can't defend like that. And it's not just about they weren't getting blocks in. They were letting players run without anybody marking them. When a throw-in's taken and it's taken to somebody totally on their own who passes it across the goal to somebody else who's completely on their own. It's shameful defending, and they should hang their heads in shame because they've thrown it away. What the hell? Such as Humphreys, who had a really good game for vast majority, kept getting a couple of knocks, and Keeler Dunn must think when they're upfield and they're turning around and they're looking to see how pathetic we defend and how easily the opposition scores and they don't. Goodness knows they're thinking. I mean, Keeler Dunn were through on goal and he could have scored and it straight at goalkeeper. But then put it right and 3-1 up. It should be over. It should be over. With any decent defence, when ball comes up, smack it away. Just smack it upfield and chase that. Stop prattling about with it at the back. Doing things like throw-ins again, like we did in the recent past. Throw-ins instead of going down the line, throwing them across field straight to their players, passing the ball inside straight to their players, and they've got a free run. It's awful, and goodness knows it's just too easy. It's just too easy. And people are talking about a massive clear out. I don't know about a massive clear out because I thought we played pretty well, but the defence has got to be sorted out. Nobody wins promotion or playoffs or all like that. We are dreadful defence, and our defence is simply dreadful.
Well, you say that. I think we've now slipped into the bottom 6 in terms of goals conceded this season. Crawley top of that with 81, but we're now I think joint sixth in terms of goals conceded this season. So
There must be some rubbish defences then if they're worse than ours at
Well,
the minute.
no team should end up 45 minutes for 2:45s, 2-0 up, and then lose that second half 4-1. No team in any league should lose like that.
3 goals in 6 minutes is appalling. Not just good. After
Capitulated,
all
Andy.
the good work, it's not just that they're after all the good work.
reminiscent of yesterday's Europa League game.
I was pulling my hair out.
If anything,
My mic come out soon, Andy. Don't worry about it.
Right, well, we'll become bald twins, Al. We'll get a job on EastEnders, Al. It could be Neil Mitchell's, me and you.
I'm thinking more cats later.
Oh, nice.
Al, putting today's result behind us, looking forward to Monday. Peterborough at home. A very difficult side this season. Very reminiscent of us in a way of terrible defensive in that first half of the season. They just shipped goals for fun. Had a massive, well, not a clear out, but just flogged every decent defender they got and replaced them inadequately, looking at exactly where they were in the league, flirting with relegation up until sort of January, February time, and seems to have kicked on a little bit since then. And now Virtue Trophy winners, which I'll tell you something, that is a heck of an achievement for, I think, the first side to actually retain it as well.
Yeah,
which is interesting. But how do you feel about this one? Because Peterborough is still a force in attack. They've had a decent run of form recently as well. Sort of Corinthians remove themselves from that relegation battle that they were sort of part of. So how do you feel about this one? Because two sides, nothing to play for, but us and Peterborough, I feel like we've played each other so many times. A bit like Bolton in terms of like we're just sick of seeing each other.
well, we beat them on 29th of December at theirs 2-1, didn't we? So before it went all after January window when it went pear-shaped. It's going to be tough because I've watched, when I come back home, I taped that Virtue Trophy, and to be honest, they played Birmingham at times off park and cracking goals. The 2 goals they got were solid. I mean, stunners. So we've got to be wary of getting free kicks away as well, outside edge at box. But we get too much space, don't we? We allow players wide, and we play at times too narrow. And I think Peterborough will take advantage of that. But I wish Connor all the best his first game at Oakwell as head coach. He's promised me he's going to help and get a win. So hopefully he can give me best medicine on Monday and get us 3 points. And it'd be nice over Easter period to come away with something. But it's not going to be easy against the Peterborough side who's pushing at the moment. And the results have been a bit better than ours, aren't they?
Yeah, it's not too bad. Those are better than ours, to be honest. it's not that hard. Craig, Peter probably need one more win to, I think, that makes it mathematically safe. They more or less are safe from now. Anyways, I think they've got a game in hand anyway on Bristol Rovers, was that 21st, if I can remember. So it's like there's still a little bit of something for them to play for, just to make sure they're fully across the line and can rebuild for next season and such and look forward. But there's not really too much on it. How do you feel about this one?
Apprehensive as per usual. It seems like it's a running theme with me at the minute when it comes to Barnsley. I'm not looking forward to any games because I'm sick of seeing us concede and just not seeing a full game of football. And you know, Peterborough, they're going to be buoyant off that win against Birmingham. They drew against Stockport today, which is another good team in league. They're going to go into it feeling a lot better than we are, because honestly, if I can overrun, I'd be laying into them players at full time, I'll be getting them in training tomorrow, straight away. It's going to be a difficult game because they're young and they run a lot. You know, I think that's one thing you can always say about Peterborough as a team. They've got a lot of work ethic, and it seems to be something that we lack today. A lot of it. You know, that ability to run up and down for 90 minutes, our team ain't got it. You know, whether it's through design or just any other factors that you want to throw in ring, they're going to run more than us. They're going to work harder than us. unless Connor can get into these lads that they need to actually start doing some work, because these 45 minutes here and there ain't good enough. It ain't going to get you promoted. It ain't going to get fans off the seats. And ultimately, it's going to cost Connor his job. Because
let him get a job first.
No.
He's had one game.
I know he's just been announced now, but I'm not disregarding the last 5 games that he's just been manager on as well. I'm not just starting from today. I mean,
welcome back, Craig. Can't your internet go down again?
Up to you, mate. No, I'm just not in a good place when it comes to Barnsley at the minute. I do not see this town in this team whatsoever. An hard-working town coming from a lot of my dad and granddad working at pits and all that, working the absolute socks off, and then seeing a team that can't put 45 minutes together. It's a joke. And ultimately, and it is that. In this league, you need to work hard to get out of it. It's not unless you're Birmingham, you can just throw money at the situation, which we can't because, we've got to throw 8 million just to keep alive. It's sad to see.
Well, I've got to give credit to Connor. He sent Kate a message. They've sent Kate a message, and I've got a message from Conor Horan, who's sorry to hear about my prognosis. And if I'm going to a match on Monday, he wants to come and see me. He wants to spend 2 minutes with me. He's coming up into the stand to talk to me and fetch me a signed shirt. And all the team's behind me, so I can't knock the man. He's a great guy.
I'm not knocking him personally, man. It's only it's football. I'm not knocking him personally. I'm just saying he needs to get into these players.
Yeah, but do you not think we have seen that though with his press conferences saying I've dropped Adam Phillips because his attitude hasn't been right. He's not been applying himself in training, and then when he came back against Bolton, looked good again.
Look, words in press conferences are fine, but you've got to see it on the pitch.
No. It's not though. It's action. He dropped him. He didn't play him. He went, you'll see if he's applied himself, so I will not play him at the weekend. He didn't play at the weekend when he said that. It's not a case of he's just said it. He went and acted on it as well. Like it's not just saying. So he's setting the standards. This is the thing I see of like the thinking I see behind the board appointing him is the fact of he knows what it is to create a winning culture. He specifically knows how to do it at this club. He's been part of it. He knows what to do. It needs ripping up. You look at the state under Neil Collins, not great. You look at the state before that, before we even came back down as such. Michael Duff sort of got that one season, but before that, Poresh Baggy, Shop, terrible. We came back in Neil Collins, not exciting, but we got to where we needed to be. Then you look at sort of the start of this season, not great under Darryl Clark either. And it needs ripping up, which I think that's what he started to do. I've been like, look, standards have been poor for the first half of the season. Not what I'd hit. This is now what's happening. Adam Phillips, you weren't playing well. You're not playing for me. You'll know about it if he starts on Saturday or not, and he didn't. So I think that's sort of the route in which he's going down because we know the players aren't good enough. Look, but he's got to do something.
7 players down tools today. 7 players in that second half. I can think of 7 that down tools today and didn't work hard enough.
Well, he's only got 5.
So it's either they're not scared of being dropped, or they need replacing ASAP.
I mean, there's 1 or 2 choices in that of all right, we'll ship 7 players out and then bring 7 new players in it summer. Probably not going to happen. Or 2 of do you want to be club or not? If you don't play. I think he's shown that with the fact of Bland's playing at fullback. He's not.
Anyway, back to Peterborough. What you need to Peterborough have lost 1 of the last 5 away games, winning 3 and drawing 2 of them. Only lost 1. The only positive news is they were beating Stockport today 1-0 until added time, and Stockport managed to equalise. So they'll be a bit fed up when you're saying, they could do another victory.
Jack Diamond equaliser.
I don't. Well done, Jack. I like Jack Diamond. I do.
It could just be a match of who's got worse defence, to be quite honest with you.
8-all. Get your prediction in now, Craig. 8-all. 8-7 to Peterborough. I don't know. I
wonder if we'll actually have a bona fide striker playing on Monday. That'd be all right.
Well, they've got Jade Jones scoring for fun, Mothersill scoring for fun, Poco's coming up with all in double figures. So,
4-3 down, and we didn't have a striker up pitch.
or on some bench.
It's absolute ludicrous. It really is. If I were looking at this and it was Chef Wednesday, I'd be having a right laugh. It's horrible.
But we played really well to start with. Anyway, Monday's another day. Let's see who the walking wonder is. I think we'll struggle even more if Humphrey's isn't available. I'm hoping. I know he hobbled up. But I'm hoping that he's going to be all right for Monday because he made a difference, particularly in the first half out wide on the left, both in taking players on and not just taking them on, beating them, but also is a good avenue out. Kieran can smack it down that left wing and he heads it. He won virtually every single header that were played out to him to put us on the attack. All we've got to do now, if he's doing it, is just assume that he's going to win it and run on. So DKD needs to run on, not thinking will he win that or not. Assume he's going to, and start moving ready. So, it'll be interesting on Monday.
Prediction?
I'm going 2-1 for us.
Oh, look at you, Tenko. You said we were going to lose last week. Now look at you. No longer reverse.
And we did lose. I said we were going to lose last week, and we did.
Yeah, but you said reverse psychology, trying to say we'd win.
I lied.
Can't stand it. Al?
31 to Barnsley behind me. Sorry, 3-1. 3-1 to Barnsley, and I hope I pass a fitness test.
What's behind you, Al? It's 3-0 behind you. All I'm going to say to you, Josh, is in hospital this week, Alan kept telling me that he weren't plumbed in. He kept saying, I'm not plumbed in right, me, Oh, well, I'm not wired up right. And do you know what, Al? I agreed with you.
Well, you're best mate and best taxi driver around, mate. Thank you very much for all you've done for us.
And finally, Josh, because we've got to end on a lighter note, above his bed, it says Alan Smith, name, Alan Smith. Are we
not doing predictions?
Hold on. And it says Alan, only the nurse that he got couldn't quite pronounce Alan, so kept calling him Ellen. So, Ellen Smith. Bring him on.
I'll change that. I'll change that on Twitter handle.
That's what I thought. Well, yeah.
L Smith type mad instead. That's what we'll go for it. Craig?
4-1 Peterborough.
Put Craig down for a 0. 3-1 to us. Easy as that.
Easy.
Right,
does that moving out cause you to go a bit doolally?
Craig just didn't want to see no positivity or anything good for us at minute. He just wants.
I just can see Poku and the other winger just destroying us. To be completely honest,
unmarked, Craig.
Unmarked. Josh Earl marking him, no problem. Back pocket. See you later, Poku. Not a chance.
Look, Rose Ed.
Easy. Put him over at West End bottom. He'll be fine. Right, get your thoughts on the Leyton Orient game down below, as well as your predictions for the Peterborough game. And we'll be back outside Oakwell with our instant reaction to the Peterborough game on Monday. And then we're back with our main show midweek as well. And we'll discuss Conor Hurrian being made permanent coach a little bit more in that as well. So we'll see you there. You Reds.